welcome back to another video. This is Merch Campus. We are a merch channel and we just push cool content around growing your merch account and taking your business to the next level. Today we're going to talk about pricing. If this is your first time, welcome. We got a lot of videos you can check out. Feel free to subscribe if you want, do your thing. So now I have in front of me a very interesting trend. It's the Daddy Shark do. Selling like crazy, 5,000 results, but I think it's infringing on these guys. They have nearly 2 billion views, which is pretty epic for YouTube, right? Only Gangnam Style got there, and a couple others. And then also they have 200 million views here, 300 million views here. It's a massive trend. No wonder it's selling. But in my opinion, I think it's infringing, so I'm not going to do anything, even though it would be a really great opportunity. But the point of this video is to look more at the pricing strategy behind certain products. Now, first things first, there's a lot of debate around pricing, and there's no one formula for pricing. It makes me laugh at how fixed positions some people are on pricing. Low pricing doesn't work, or high pricing doesn't work. It completely depends. I'll show you. I can also just show you in my account. In the past week alone, I've sold dozens of shirts at a low price and dozens of shirts at a high price. It really depends, right? And so what I would rather talk about, knowing that there's such a kind of debate between these two, is what I do and maybe some of the reasons why I do it, right? So typically what I like to do, it also depends on my tier level. So let me just talk a little bit about it. So when I first started, I priced everything super low. So last year, that meant at a base price of $11.54. And the reason being is I wanted to reduce any resistance that the customer had to buying. I wanted them to just buy it out of impulse. And I didn't really care about profits because profits didn't really matter until I had more slots, right? So that was my reasoning behind it. And it seemed to work pretty well. Some people disagree with it. It doesn't really matter, right? It worked for me, and so that's what I do. And so now what I typically do is I will start a shirt at $14.99 or $15.99 or $13, some kind of low-ish price, and then to see what happens. And then if it gets a sale, I typically will then bump it up to the average of the niche or of the market. And that's what brings me to basically this page. So if you look here, you could basically see the average price. Of course, unfortunately, we have one design that's dominating the front page in the shark niche, but you can kind of see that the average to me seems to be about $17.99, but we can always validate it with Merch Informer. And so now instead of teacher, let's just put in shark and just see what the average price is. Yeah, so the average price is $17.50. So if you price at that or below that, you're bringing a competitive listing to the market. That's basically how I like to think about pricing. It's not whether you think the shirt deserves to be higher price. It's basically what is the market telling you that the customers are happy to pay. And this seems to be the average, right? Let's say we type in a different niche like chickens. Let's see what happens. So the average price for chickens is higher. So that means you can get away pricing a little bit higher in this niche and still be competitive. Because if you have a great design at an equal or lower price, that is a competitive offering that a customer is going to be attracted to, right? So that's how I usually like to approach it. It's kind of like a data-driven method. Now, another thing that influences pricing is reviews. So as you might know, if you have reviews on your shirts, it significantly boosts the chances of that shirt selling relative to other shirts in the niche because it stands out as social proof, right? And so I have shirts with reviews that I will price higher. And just as a quick side note, one of the best ways to get reviews is to put up a lot of shirts during Q4 because a lot of people buy and then you can get some reviews and then hopefully that stickiness lasts you for the next year and then it becomes a year-round seller because it has a review on it, which significantly boosts the chance of a sale. That said, I don't immediately, if I have a 5-star review, shoot it up to like $22. I again gauge the niche or the market, and I see, are there a lot of shirts with reviews? What are they priced at? Things like that. Okay, so I'm always looking at what is the market telling me. Luckily, Merch Informer tool has a really cool way to quickly look at the average price. Now, as for other products, it's hoodies, long sleeve, premium sweatshirts, pop sockets. I'll be honest, I don't really do much of the other apparel. I have hoodies and long sleeve, and they sell occasionally, but I typically don't mess with the price. Even though I have a hoodie that's priced at like $46, which is amazing. I also have a t-shirt priced at $25, so whenever that sells, I immediately get like $9 or $10, which is great. But typically with the other products, I just leave it at the base price because most of the ROI from my time investment comes from t-shirts. Those are my biggest sellers. So I focus on t-shirts. And until they release more products, which they will, Merch by Amazon wants to be the biggest print-on-demand platform. If you want to get a taste of the future of merch, just look at sites like printful.com, and whatever they're offering is probably what merch is going to offer once they can do that, right? Once they hit scale, once they have the manufacturers and the factories all set up, then they'll start doing that. So that's in the future. But the thing with pop sockets as well, I just leave it at the price. I don't tweak it, probably $14.99, and you only get like a $2 something royalty. So yeah, so that's kind of how I approach it. I know that I love that there's so much disagreement around it, and I think the best way to look at it is just to gauge what is appropriate to you at your level. The reason I start low in the lower tier is because I still personally think of Amazon as like a discount store. People go to Amazon to get the same product but cheaper. So it makes sense that they would see a t-shirt that's priced very low, like $12.99, that scoop that up as a quick impulse buy. For example, this t-shirt that base price is kind of, it's not amazing. I wouldn't pay $20 for it in terms of the quality, right? So people are paying for the custom, the novelty aspect of it because they can't just buy it in any store. What I do in a low tier level is I always price it low, okay? It doesn't really make a difference. You can price at $14.99, $15.99, but I just try to decrease the resistance to the customer. Let me just jump into my account real quick. So this is just the past week. I just want to show you how many are like low sales. Okay, so 0.8. So these are all shirts that are priced low, right? So these are priced at under $14, and they're all selling just in the past week. So people who say low pricing doesn't work, it's just, how could you say that? That's not the case at all. High pricing doesn't work either. It's all depends, right? All depends. Every level of pricing works, right? You can go higher up. Here I'm selling shirts at $18.97. I'm selling shirts at $16.85. Like the range is huge. $14.99. There's no one. It's my dog. There's no one size fits all. So I urge you to not have a very fixed, almost stubborn position on it, but to be flexible, to see what the market wants, to see what is appropriate to your tier level. The more slots you have, the more pricing strategies you can test, and things like that. All right, so hopefully this was a useful video on how to price. As for me, the bottom line is I typically like to come in low, especially when I'm trying to catch a trend. I'll come in at $13.99, $14.99, or $12.99, and then see what happens if I'm starting to get some sales. And then, especially for trends in Q4, I wait until we approach the holiday. 3 to 4 weeks out, that's when I start to move the price up. Because the shirt is already selling a month, 2 months out, as we know. I've been selling Halloween shirts now for the past few weeks, and there's still 2 months away, right? So I'm gonna wait until October pulls up, because then people's price sensitivity drops because they just want a cool shirt for Halloween, all right? Hopefully that is useful. Thank you very much for sticking around, watching this video. Feel free to shoot me a comment, subscribe, do your thing, and I'll see you soon. Take care.